we'll quickly revise what we did in the last lecture. We did first thing we did state of state of West Bengal versus Dinesh Dalmia, wherein we dealt with the question of surrender. So from the date of surrender or the date of arrest, the period under 167 does not start 60 days, 15 days. It does not start from the date of arrest or date of surrender. Rather, it starts from the date of production. So this we understood while we were reading state of West Bengal versus Dinesh Dalmia. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद we went on to understand two more things. One was कि whether there can be an oral bail application under 167, oral bail application for default bail. So the answer to this was yes. It was held in Rakesh Kumar Paul. This issue was dealt in Rakesh Kumar Paul, and the answer to this was yes. Rakesh Kumar Paul versus State of Assam. Fine. So two questions were there in Rakesh Kumar Paul: oral bail, oral application for 167 for DB default bail, that is yes. The answer to this was yes. Now second was whether DB can be granted. DB can be granted while hearing regular bail. While hearing regular bail. The answer to this was also regular bail. The answer to this was also yes. DB can be granted while hearing regular bail. दोनों भी yes. ठीक है. Now, ठीक है. One thing I have to tell you in this, that this judgment can be overruled. Now, you cannot call this a strong precedent. The reason being there is a strong dissent in this case. And the dissent is very strong enough. I'll tell you why. This is a 2:1 judgment. The two judges are Justice. ये कल नहीं बताया था ना मैंने आपको? This I didn't tell you yesterday.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. The judgment was 2:1. Fine. The two judges were Justice Madan Lokur. Okay, Justice Madan Lokur and Justice Deepak Gupta. And the dissent was by Justice Prafulla C. Pant. Now his dissent is strong enough, as in his dissent is aligning with the law. When I say it is aligning with the law, meaning that firstly, oral application, whether it can be granted by the appellant court in hearing a regular bail application, he said no. It cannot be granted by appellant court. It can only be granted by magistrate. And that is what section 167 says. That is what exactly section 167 says. So it's not like his dissent is frivolous or it should not be taken into account. His dissent is a very strong dissent. In fact, what had happened when I was new in the Supreme Court, so I had met Justice P.C. Pant in an occasion. So I was a big fan. I'm still a big fan. So I told him that, sir, I have read almost all your judgment, but one judgment always surprises me. That is Rakesh Kumar Paul. So I asked him. So he asked me what is surprising about it. I told him that, sir, why were you in dissent? Such a progressive judgment, you could have been on the affirmative part of it. He said that if you read the procedure closely, you will understand the reason why I'm in dissent. The first thing he said that, see, the bail in that case was granted by the appellant court. A default bail being granted by the appellant court, this I cannot allow. Secondly, the document was not in the application was not in writing. Rather, the application was an oral application. Now, if the application is in oral, how will you compute the period? How will you worry about the sureties? All these things. So this will create a problem. So that is the reason he said that is the reason, because in such cases, in the cases of DB, technicalities are involved. It has to be in writing. Otherwise, it will be it will lose its value. And in fact, it will be considered that in every case we are granting DB whenever an application is being presented. So he said that to keep the value intact, we'll have to make it in writing. So these were his two concerns about this judgment. So this is what he actually had written in his dissent also. This is what was his dissent also. So never consider his dissent to be a frivolous one, or say just sideline it. So it's a dissent. His dissent is an important element. Maybe in future, in upcoming days, you may see that it may become the law. At present, this is the law, but in future, maybe. So who knows? Then from there, we went on to understand subsection 2A. Others says you cannot hear me. Sir, I'm unable to hear you. You'll have to rejoin again, I suppose. Everyone is able to hear me, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we went on to understand subsection 2A. Now in subsection 2A, what was happening? The executive magistrate is granting you, the executive magistrate is ordering this custody, police custody. So this is executive magistrate here. The custody will be for 7 days of period. Maximum period will be 7 days. After that, it will be a case of DB. Within 7 days, we'll have to produce before JM, judicial magistrate. Then we went on to understand clause 3. In every case of PC, you will record reasons. In every case of PC, you will record reasons. Then we went on to understand clause 4. Clause 4, that you will have to forward all the documents to CGM, the order to CGM. Okay. Then we went on to understand clause 5. In the cases of summon case, a upward period has been given, that is 6 months. Within 6 months, you'll have to complete the investigation in a summons case. If you do not complete the investigation within 6 months, the magistrate can order stop investigation. Okay, so magistrate can stop investigation. Now, what will you do of this stop investigation? You can approach the sessions court and set it aside. So that you can do under clause 6. That is, approach the sessions court to set aside stop investigation. Okay, this was with respect to 167, but I suppose we missed one point that I was supposed to cover, that is transit remand. We covered all the aspects, we covered all the permutations and combinations that you can likely face in your exams, but we forgot to cover transit remand. So today I'll cover transit remand. Okay? Transit remand nahi cover kiya tha na? I just briefly told you about what is transit remand. I did not explain it in a greater sense, I believe. Hai na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose such a thing happens that a person is being arrested in Delhi, and he is arrested by Maharashtra police. Maharashtra police. A person is arrested in Delhi and Maharashtra police comes to Delhi. They arrest him. Now, from Delhi to Maharashtra, it takes about 16 hours. Say from Delhi to Pune, it takes about 16 hours. 16 hours is the journey time. So now definitely you have arrested this fellow. You won't be able to reach before the magistrate within 24 hours because the traveling time is so much. So you won't be able to reach before the magistrate during this period. So that is the reason. Now that is the reason when you arrest this fellow and you feel that the traveling time will take, because of the traveling time or any concern, you cannot present him before the jurisdictional magistrate within 24 hours. You feel that because of traveling time or anything, you cannot present him before the jurisdictional magistrate within 24 hours. In that case, what you will do, you will take him to the nearest magistrate. Now, before this nearest magistrate, so in this case, Delhi magistrate is the nearest magistrate. Before this magistrate, you will ask for transit remand. Now, transit remand, what is transit and what is remand? Remand is custody. Remand ka naam hai, the other name for remand is police custody. When we say police remand, custody. So this is police custody. Fine. Now, transit remand. Now, why is this custody being granted? This custody is being granted for the purpose of taking the accused to the place of jurisdiction. So only for the purpose of taking the accused, this custody is granted. So now when this situation arises only in the cases wherein you feel that within 24 hours, I won't be able to produce this fellow before the jurisdictional magistrate. Only in those situations, this case arises. In that case, you'll have to produce him before the nearest magistrate. Now, see, CRPC, nowhere they have used the word transit remand. In fact, I doubt that the framers were aware of this concept also, because this is a creation of this is a creation of judges. Fine, but this is a creation after conjoint reading of 56, 57, and 167. अब now why conjoint reading you need to understand. एक बार पहले 56 पे आ जाओ. Come to 56. Are you guys in 56?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. अब ये क्यों कंजॉइंट रीडिंग पे ये आपको समझना पड़ेगा. पहले तो देखो 56. What does 56 say? A police officer making an arrest without warrant shall, without unnecessary delay, subject to the provisions herein contained, produce the magistrate or send the person arrested. Send the arrested before a magistrate having jurisdiction. So 56 mentions a person, a magistrate having jurisdiction. ठीक है. Your 57 only mentions magistrate, nothing else. Now it can mean both things. It can mean a magistrate having jurisdiction, or a nearest magistrate, can mean anything. So it uses the word only magistrate. But see, the way it is worded, they both are one after the another. 56, 57 के बाद here. And 57 uses the word only magistrate. Okay? But it uses the word magistrate under 167. Magistrate under 167. Now, who is the magistrate under 167? That is an important aspect we need to understand. अब आ जाओ magistrate under 167 पे. ठीक है. Fine. 167 पे हो.
Yes, sir.
अब देखो, when a person is arrested and detained, it appears to the investigation cannot be completed within 24 hours fixed by FNL. There are grounds for believing so and so, and forthwith transmit to the nearest magistrate. 167 uses the word nearest magistrate. And now the second question that arises to your mind, that what will the nearest magistrate do if he does not have jurisdiction? So they have resolved that issue in 162 subsection 2 also. Whether he has jurisdiction, whether jurisdiction or without jurisdiction. Okay. So now they have given the power of transit remand to a nearest magistrate, and this power is given under 167. This is for the purpose of transit remand, for the purpose of allowing him to forward it to the place of jurisdiction. See, if you do not have the jurisdiction, they are saying you forward it to the place of jurisdiction. So you give the police transit remand. You have the power to give the custody to the police for the purposes of transit. Transit meaning that for the purposes of travel. आप दे सकते हो. Fine. So on conjoint reading of these three sections, we come to a conclusion that what the act intends to do. पहले तो समझना है कि what the act intends to do. Act in every case wants an accused to be produced before a jurisdictional magistrate, the magistrate which has jurisdiction. But it is not possible in every case, because a person may be arrested outside the state and he cannot be produced before the jurisdictional magistrate within 24 hours. In that case, what will happen? In that case, 167 subsection 2 comes to the rescue, and it tells that, see, in that case, you can produce before the nearest magistrate, and the nearest magistrate will provide for the transit remand. The nearest magistrate will give the transit remand. And ultimately, what will happen? Your accused from the place where there is no jurisdiction, he will be transited or forwarded to the court which has jurisdiction. So this is the idea behind the act. This is the conjoint reading. You can understand that this is from where the concept of transit remand is coming. Okay. So see, ideally transit remand is granted or ordered by a court or magistrate which does not have jurisdiction. It has no jurisdiction. to try the accused or commit the accused or take cognizance of the matter. Nothing. Fine, it has no jurisdiction. It is just transiting. It has the only jurisdiction it has is to allow police custody. And that jurisdiction it has because of 167 subsection 2. उतना jurisdiction उनको मिल रहा है because of 167 2. Fine, is this clear? यहाँ तक clear है?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So now you guys can write what is transit remand. Transit remand. Wait. Transit remand order. Order means an order. Passed by JM, judicial magistrate, remanding an arrested person to PC, that is police custody, and for the purpose of his transit to another state or place, to PC for the purpose of his transit to another place. Okay. Now, what does the court do while it is ordering transit? Court checks three things. First, court checks whether the police had the authority to arrest outside the state. See, not every police officer has the authority to arrest outside the state. Only a person who is designated by his superior can arrest outside the state. So whether the first thing that will the magistrate will see whether the police had the authority to arrest outside the state. Second, whether the arrest was done legally. Okay? Whether the arrest was done legally. All the parameters or all the safeguards were taken into consideration. And third, lastly, then after these two things, one has said that the police had the authority to arrest outside the state, and arrest was done legally. He will order interstate or interplace. He will order him to take to his home or to the jurisdiction place. So by this order, the magistrate certifies the following. ये दो चीजें सर्टिफाई करेगा. पहली चीज है, the first thing that he will certify that whether the police had the authority to arrest outside, whether the police had the authority to arrest outside the state. ठीक है. Second thing, whether arrest was done legally. These two things he will certify. Fine. Then after this he further then he will order state police to take the arrestee to the place of jurisdiction. ठीक है. अब देखो, अब एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है कि now while granting this order, the magistrate should not be mechanical. If the parameters of 167 are not fulfilled, or the safeguards of arrest are not fulfilled, he can even release the accused on bail. He can declare the arrest to be illegal. He has this much of authority. Now I'll share a case with you. Suppose such a thing happened. चलो केस का नाम भी बता देते हैं. The name of the case is Gautam Naulakha. Gautam Naulakha versus state of, वैसे तो इसमें state of Maharashtra and NCT दोनों भी है, but state of NCT was the major party also. So state of NCT, and this is a 2018 judgment, and this judgment was pronounced by Delhi High Court. There are Supreme Court rulings also on this issue, but Supreme Court rulings are not pertinent to our transit remand. They have given an abstract ruling on liberty, etc., not very much relevant to us at this point. Now what happened in this case? This case is also known as Bhima Koregaon case. If you guys must have been aware of it. इसमें क्या हुआ था? There was a riot that took place in Maharashtra. And there was a riot with respect to an issue. It took place, and it was an allegation that certain people instigated this riot. This riot was actually orchestrated by certain people, and these people are mostly left-leaning people. Now, they profoundly called them urban Naxals also. So these are left-leaning people. These are the people who orchestrated the riot. So an FIR was registered in Pune. Fine, an FIR was registered in Pune. The person who was supposed to be arrested, he was in Delhi. In this case, it was Gautam Naulakha. Fine. They arrested him in Delhi. They kept him in house arrest. They arrested him in Delhi. They kept him in house arrest. Fine. And then they produced him before the magistrate for a transit remand. Magistrate CMM of Saket, Delhi mein. CMM of Saket. They produced him before CMM Saket, and they asked for transit remand. Interestingly, the magistrate granted transit remand. Fine. And what was more surprising was, while granting, when they were asking, or they were pleading for transit remand, when they were asking for transit remand, they did not have case diary. Case diary was not there. 167 subsection 1 padho. Go to 167 subsection 1. What does it say? Padho. Go 167 subsection 1 pe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it says that 167 subsection 1 says that when a person is arrested and detained and it appears that the investigation cannot be completed within 24 hours by 57, there are grounds for believing that the accusation are well founded, shall further transmit to the nearest judge a copy of entries in the diary. So this is something very mandatory, very important. Na? Now, why we are asking for case diary? Why the magistrate is asking for case diary? Because he wants to know what the case actually is. ऐसे तो आप किसी को भी अरेस्ट करके लाओगे और मांगोगे कि ट्रांजिट रिमांड दे दीजिए. You can arrest any fellow, any Tom, Dick and Harry, and you can ask for transit remand. So that is not done. Why 167 specifically calls for case diary? So the magistrate can understand for what case are you asking, for what is the case against this fellow. So that is the reason in this the court asked for case diary. Wait a sec, give me a second. Sorry. So the first thing was there was no case diary. No case diary. Now, what is the purpose of case diary? I told you that the magistrate can understand what case is against this fellow. Second thing they did not do was they did not provide him he was house arrested, and they did not provide grounds of house arrest. grounds of house arrest were not provided. ये भी नहीं. Fine, the grounds of house arrest also not provided. Third thing, he was not provided with an advocate. So no one actually represented him. No legal representation. ठीक है? In spite of all these three situations, he clearly said before the magistrate that I am not aware for what I am being arrested. He clearly said that case diary, so he was not a legal person, so he did not know whether case diary, what is the role of case diary. But he clearly said that I do not know for what I am being arrested. Still, the magistrate granted transit remand. On the very same day, they filed an habeas corpus petition before your Delhi High Court. Now, Delhi High Court at that time, there was Justice Mudliar was there, Justice Mudliar and Talwant Singh. Yes, Mudliar was there, Justice S. Mudliar and Talwant Singh were there. They then said that this is the order of the CMM clearly violates 167 subsection 1. Secondly, it also violates section 50 because grounds of arrest should have been provided. It also violates every person has to have a legal representation. It also violates that principle. So the court said that this arrest itself is illegal and accordingly ordered the release of Gautam Naulak. So in this case, it was considered as illegal. The court further said that, see, we are not supposed to be mechanical while any person is coming before us, before a magistrate outside the state. We are not supposed to be mechanical and order transit remand in every case. We will have to apply a judicial mind. We'll have to see two things. First thing, whether the arrest is legal. It meets the contours of 167 firstly. Fine, it is within time, case diary is presented, and it also meets all the safeguards. Secondly, you will have to ensure that this fellow has the perfect representation possible. Okay? And the more important thing, you'll have to ensure that the police actually had the authority to arrest also. If the police did not have the authority, you will just reject it. So accordingly, in this case, the habeas corpus petition was granted and the arrest was held to be illegal. Now, in this case, what had happened? The court did not provide for guidelines in the cases of transit arrest. This case, they did not talk. They only talk about Gautam Naulak's remand, and everything was revolving around his transit remand. They did not talk much about transit, the guidelines for transit remand. Transit remand was extensively discussed in this case by the same bench, but a division bench. In this case, that is Sandeep Kumar versus State. Yes, Shubham.
सर, इस केस में ना पीसी दिया गया ना जेसी सर. हाउस अरेस्ट का मतलब कैसे, ये समझ में नहीं आया.
वो इलीगल था ना, वो भी अरेस्ट इलीगल था. उन्होंने हाउस अरेस्ट रखा था, वो भी इलीगली था.
ओके सर,
वो भी that also was illegal. ठीक है. So yes, सार्थक.
सर एक छोटा सा, सर हाउस अरेस्ट पे सर कैसे रख सकते हैं ऐसे एकदम से?
इलीगल है ना, इलीगल था ना इसमें. They did not have the authority also.
तो सर क्या कहते हैं, कोई मैजिस्ट्रेट ही होगा जो हाउस अरेस्ट के लिए भी उनको कस्टडी देगा क्या? दैट यू कैन अरेस्ट दैट पर्सन.
पुलिस कस्टडी दे सकता है, and that will be house arrest only. मतलब even judicial custody can be house arrest also if the person is not fit or is in such a situation that he cannot move around. The court can say that we will send our supervision and you will be in house arrest.
Okay, sir.
So the concept of your transit remand was extensively discussed in a 2019 judgment, that is Sandeep Kumar versus State, and this was a division bench, and here two judges were there, Justice S. Mudliar, S. Murlidhar, and Talwant Singh. ठीक है. Now in this case, the court held that there should be endeavor should be. The court held the following things, and these are the two things that were very important for us. And this was also Delhi High Court. Okay. The court held that endeavor should be made. Endeavor should be made. Endeavor should be made to obtain transit remand. To obtain transit remand. Transit remand after producing the arrestee before the nearest magistrate. Before the nearest magistrate. This was the first thing. Nearest magistrate. Okay. Now in this case, what had happened? There was a guy who was caught from Delhi, and he was supposed to be transited or traveled to Gujarat. There was no permission granted by this. There was no permission obtained from the magistrate. He was directly taken by the police officers. So the court held that the endeavor should be made to obtain transit after producing the arrestee before the nearest magistrate. That is transit remand. Transit remand. Okay. So that should be the endeavor, unless now if you can produce the person before the jurisdictional magistrate, the magistrate which has jurisdiction within 24 hours, then it's fine. Then you need not go for transit remand. If you feel that within 24 hours you can produce it before the jurisdictional magistrate, then go for it. So unless the person can be produced before magistrate without infringing the mandate under section 56 and 57. Fine. Now if you can produce the accused within this period, then it is fine. You can go for it. You yourself can go for it. Okay. So this was in Sandeep Kumar versus State. Now there is this one interesting case. This happened somewhere around 1990s, and in this case what had happened? Ye clear hai? Yahan tak this is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please explain this case once more.
हाँ जी. इस केस में कुछ नहीं था. इस केस में the thing was simple, that a person was arrested in Delhi. They did not appear before the nearest magistrate. They was directly taken to Ahmedabad. Fine. So the court held that this transit custody is illegal. Okay, this transit custody is illegal, and the court further explained that, see, every endeavor should be made to produce before the nearest magistrate. You have to produce the arrestee before the nearest magistrate, and you will have to seek his order or transit remand in that case. But yeah, if you can produce him before the magistrate within 24 hours, that is without infringing the mandate under 56 and 57, within 24 hours, then it is fine. Then you need not go for transit remand. अगर आपको लगता है कि suppose someone is arrested in Pune, fine. Now you are to bring him Mumbai, only 2 hours drive. Now here this fellow knows that I can reach Mumbai in 2 hours, and I will produce him before the magistrate on a timely, and that time the magistrate will also be available. That also I am sure. If this is the case, in that case, fine, go for it. Then you do not need a transit remand. But say someone is arrested from Hyderabad, you are to take him to Jaipur. Now here definitely the journey itself is a long journey. So if you are going by drive, around 24 hours it will require. And since you have arrested, you will be keeping him for some days, you'll be stopping somewhere. Definitely in such cases, you will need a transit remand. Fine. एक बार recall करो, remember there was this fellow in Nirbhaya rape case, his name was Ram Singh.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? He was arrested near Jaipur, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Fine. In that case, they did not go to the magistrate and obtain a transit remand to bring him back to Delhi. The reason was the drive from Delhi to Jaipur कितना है? 2 hours है. Fine, it's hardly 2 hours. So they knew that it won't take that much time. So the transit remand was not necessary. Fine. So transit remand is necessary only in the case wherein, say, you feel that the magistrate, you feel that the accused will be in custody for more than 24 hours. You have a reason to believe that the accused will be in custody for more than 24 hours. If there is a reason to believe, then you will first approach the magistrate, you will ask for transit remand and then move. So having said that, इसमें और भी guidelines हैं. वैसे when you are going out of state, you cannot just arrest the person and bring him back. First, you'll have to intimate to the local police station. जैसे इसमें if you have watched that series, Delhi Crime, तो उसमें what do? The first thing they do, they go to Jaipur, they go to that village, they intimate the local police station. They tell him that we are here to arrest this so and so fellow and we are just informing you. So that fellow is sleeping at that point of time. They wake him up. So बोलते हैं कि उठो, हम arrest करने आए हैं. We are just here to intimate you. They first intimated. So that is the mandatory thing. They'll have to intimate. But वो तो rules and regulations पे आता है, वो बाद में. अभी हम 167 पे stick करते हैं. ये clear है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो अब suppose such a thing happens that a person, say he's in Hyderabad. He's arrested in Hyderabad. A person is arrested in Hyderabad. Fine. What do? He is arrested in Hyderabad. Now listen to the story. He's arrested in Hyderabad. The police officer reach Maharashtra. And they feel that now we should produce him before the judicial magistrate. They produce him before the judicial magistrate in Maharashtra. This Maharashtra magistrate refuses. He refuses to give transit remand. He says no transit remand. And the reason he refuses is that ideally you should have approached the nearest magistrate, which is you have arrested the person in Hyderabad, you should have approached the nearest magistrate. Why are you approaching me? So he refuses transit remand on that ground. Now they do not listen to Maharashtra magistrate. They take the accused, they still take the accused, and they take him to Jaipur. When they reach Jaipur, they go to their jurisdictional magistrate, the magistrate which has jurisdiction to try this crime. They go to the jurisdictional magistrate. The jurisdictional magistrate also rejects it. Says that the order or detention is not valid itself. How can I grant police custody? Your arrest itself here, you had to, this period of detention, the period of journey is not valid because you had to approach the nearest magistrate. Now they contend that we approached Maharashtra magistrate. So here the case goes to Supreme Court. Supreme Court. The case goes to Supreme Court. And the contentions are two. The first contention is from the police. Police contends that we approached Maharashtra magistrate for transit remand. Is it good enough? The court holds no, it is not good enough. The reason is when you are arresting a person and you have a reason to believe that more than 24 hours will take. In this case, they were going by a jeep. And assuming a 48 hours or 45 hours of period was being taken because they cannot drive for such a long time in a continuity. So assuming a 45 hours of period was supposed to be taken in such cases. So in this case, the court held that, see, you were aware of the journey, you were aware of the time period of the journey, you had to approach to the nearest magistrate. You cannot just start your travel and then you approach the Maharashtra magistrate or any magistrate that you have found in between. That is not how it works. When you arrest a person and you feel that more than 24 hours will be required, he'll be in custody for more than 24 hours, you approach before the nearest magistrate. not before any magistrate that comes in transit. So in this case, the entire detention was held to be illegal detention, and they were not granted. This is the case Iqbal Kaur Kotra versus DGP. I don't know the year, but ये case है, year मैं बताता हूँ बाद में. Fine. Iqbal Kaur Kotra versus DGP. Now in this case, the court held.
सर वो KW है.
हाँ, KW Kotra. ठीक है. So this was it with respect to. Now in this case, the court held this. That knowing fully that 45 hours will take in travel. Knowing fully that 45 hours will take in travel. Still they did not produce before magistrate. ठीक है. There is one person who writes that sir, flight से क्यों नहीं लेके जाते? Why don't we take them by flights? It's very expensive. You are not taking the accused, you need the permission of the authorities also, even the airport authorities also. You are taking a criminal, boss. So it's not like you'll take him in a passenger plane. Fine, go. You'll have a lot of permission, and I don't think our police authorities can spend so much over an arrest. So that is the reason this is the easy way out. Yeah, year is 1996. Fine. When police officer has reason to believe that investigation cannot be completed when police officer has reason to believe that investigation cannot be completed within 24 hours, he must produce before nearest magistrate, and cannot wait for 21 hours to get over, and cannot wait for 24 hours. It's not like that, chalo chal lete hain raaste mein, we have 24 hours, we'll present him before any magistrate which we find in the way. That is not how it works. Okay? So it cannot wait for 24 hours ki chal rahe hain. Okay? Fine. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, one thing has led to a lot of interpretations, and that is exclusion of time. What is the exclusion of time? Wait, first you write one thing about this. You guys have understood the transit remand samajh gaya na almost?
Yes, sir. What is the name of the
Yes.
case? Iqbal Kaur Kumar versus.
Wait. Yes, Mohit.
Sir, in case where in the example that you gave of Delhi and Mumbai,
Mhm.
where does the magistrate have the power to grant judicial custody instead of police custody, and then make sure that the prisoner is transported by the jail authorities?
See, the magistrate, as per the act, has power, but I haven't seen or read a case in which he has done. As per the act, it says that it has power, but he has power, but there is no such thing being done. Because when a magistrate has no jurisdiction, ideally it should be that he should forward him. Now, how other ways he will forward? He won't spend his police officials' money.
Sir, I was assuming that in case the magistrate thinks that perhaps it is not a good idea to send the accused with the police personnel,
So he'll grant bail.
rather. Okay.
He'll grant bail. The idea, see, let's be practical. He won't waste his resources, his state's resources. I mean, he won't tell his men, fine boys, now you guys have to take this fellow to his own state, and then from there they'll look out for judicial custody. Now that is either they have some credible authority, or else none. Fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So this is Iqbal Kaur Kotra versus DGP. This is 1996. Fine. One thing that you have to you have to write is that how did it come into picture? How are we implying that transit remand exists? How do we know that this thing exists? So see, concept of transit remand. Concept of transit remand, though not expressly mentioned in CRPC, it flows on reading section 167 of CRPC and article 22 of Constitution ठीक है? A person cannot be detained, which both of them have a common opinion, which says that a person cannot be detained by the police over 24 hours without the authority of magistrate. ठीक है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक.
So that gangster Vikas Dubey was also being in transit as only, na?
Yeah. He was also transited. But there are doubts as to whether he was actually transited, whether there was a bail remand, whether there was a transit remand in this case, because the police hasn't shown that from Ujjain to Kanpur. No?
Yes, sir. So isn't the police personnel responsible for taking care of the arrestee?
Yeah, they are
So
responsible.
like he died in an accident as per police version, but
yeah, they are.
Were not the police personnel held responsible for his death?
So far, they claim that it is an encounter. No, he was the one who imposed aggression, and they defended themselves.
Okay.
That is the view so far. Yes, Anshika.
Sir, I just want to confirm in the first point, it is 167 or 57?
167.
Okay, sir.
167, and this is 22.
Okay, sir.
सर 22 का क्लॉज भी लिखना है, बस सर 22 लिख देंगे तो
22 clause 2 है ना, clause
Yes,
2 हाँ 22 लिख दो तो कुछ हो जाएगा.
ओके
ठीक है. Yes, Aditi.
सर ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे क्वेश्चन आएगा तो ये तीनों केसेस मेंशन करने हैं, क्योंकि गौतम नौलखा में आपने बताया था उसमें एक्सटेंसिवली ट्रांजिट रिमांड को इतना कुछ डिस्कस नहीं किया गया था,
लिख सकते
तो
कि
वो
it
भी
was
मेंशन
held.
करना है.
हाँ, मेंशन कर सकते हो क्योंकि उसमें था ऑर्डर, तो वो वही तो
ये
उसमें
तीनों केसेस मेंशन करने हैं ट्रांजिट.
हाँ जी, तीनों केसेस मेंशन.
ओके सर.
Fine. So this was your
Okay, thank
transit remand. It was miraculously the fine. ठीक है. This was your transit remand. अब एक और transit remand का केस है. Does anyone remember Disha Ravi?
ये सर दिल्ली की एक्टिविस्ट आई थिंक.
So
was
in
arre-
that Greta Thunberg case.
Yeah, she was arrested from Bangalore. Fine. and there was no transit remand in this case. Fine. Since there was no transit remand and she was arrested from this place, the Commission of Women, National Commission of Women, NWC, they objected to this arrest itself. They said this arrest itself is illegal. They should have taken transit remand. They were arrested from Bangalore and they have brought it to Delhi. They should have taken transit remand. So a lot of protests were there. Petition was also filed, but that wasn't decided. So ultimately, this case became redundant later on. ठीक है, तो इसमें भी similar ही चीजें हो रही थी. Similar things were happening in this case also, but it became redundant later on, after a while. Fine. So this was a transit remand. अब आगे आते हैं. Let's get on to what is the time? Time है ना हमारे पास? We have good time.
6:34.
ठीक है.
34.
ठीक है, समझ लेते हैं पहले. Let's. ठीक है. Now I have see what happens here. Now you need to understand that what happens. That now this we understood. अब कहाँ तक पहुँचे? अब देखो कि first thing that we understood was filing of an FIR. ठीक है. First we understood that filing of an FIR is there. Then we went on to understand that after this there is an occurrence report. This occurrence report is filed under section 156. 157. After that, a lot of proceedings happen. There can be a case of 159, etc. That can go on. Fine. Even in FIR, first we studied 154. Then we said that if he does not take FIR, then go for 156.3. Fine. And not only FIR, there can be a case of NC. So I told you that in NC, how do you start investigation? So I told you in order to initiate investigation, you will have to go by 155.2. So these were the initial lectures that we were dealing with. After that, we went on to understand 160. That is order of calling witness. Okay, this is calling the witness. Here you are not examining it. The order is only for calling witness. Then we went on to understand 161. Now here there is an examination. You're not calling, but you are here you are examining witness. Fine. Now I told you that in this entire investigation, there is a blanket ban of 162. What is the blanket ban of 162? Nothing can be used for any purposes. Can be used for any purpose. For any purpose. ठीक है. But we want to use some things. कुछ चीजें तो हम use करेंगे. So the court says fine. The things that are made before the magistrate under 164, you can use them. So this is before magistrate. You can use those things. उसके बाद हमने किया, इसके बाद फिर हमने किया. Then we started with 167, or the concept of custody we understood. Now see, difference है. Arrest and custody, they both are different things. See, we use them synonymously. They are very different. Arrest is when I am arresting you, and I am bringing you to a place. That is arrest. I am arresting you, bringing you to a place. Custody is when I am detaining you, when I am keeping you to a place. That is custody. So we haven't yet dealt with arrest. We have only dealt with custody. Custody के लिए we studied 56, 57, and your 167. तीनों पढ़ के ये तीनों कर दिया. Here also we understood the concept of default bail. Fine. After this, now we will start with 169 and 170. Now, before understanding 169 and 170, you need to understand that the investigation completes when you file the charge sheet. The investigation is completed when you file the charge sheet. Now, 169 and 170 are two situations that are provided. Now, a charge sheet can be, a positive charge sheet, meaning that it shows that the offense has been committed. It also can be a negative charge sheet, meaning that the offense has not been committed. So this negative charge sheet is also known as closure report. Fine. ये सारी चीजें we will read when we reach at 173. Fine. अब आते हैं 169 and 170. Now see, there can be a situation wherein see, when a person files a charge sheet, so 170 provides that charge sheet is filed under 173, but 170 provides that when a person is filing charge sheet, accused has to be produced before the court. Accused has to be produced before the court. अब एक बार आ जाओ. Suppose the investigation is completed. The police is filing the charge sheet. 170 says that the accused has to be produced before the court when you are filing the charge sheet. Fine. Read 170. एक बार आ जाओ 170 पे. ठीक है. Are you guys on 170?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. If upon an investigation under this chapter, it appears to the officer in charge of the police station that there is sufficient evidence or reasonable grounds as aforesaid, such official shall forward the accused under custody to the magistrate empowered to take the cognizance of the offence upon police report and to try the accused or to commit him to trial. If the offence is bailable and the accused is able to give security, shall take security from him for his appearance before such magistrate on a day fixed and for his attendance from day to day before such magistrate until otherwise has been directed. So what 170 does? Now what section 170 does? 170 says that whenever the investigation is complete and you are filing the charge sheet, you have to produce the accused. So it says that whenever a charge sheet is filed, अब इसमें भी एक गुगली है, and that googly has been pronounced by the Supreme Court in 2021, यही year में. So it says that whenever a charge sheet is filed, it is the duty of the police officer under 170 to produce the accused before magistrate. ठीक है, मतलब सब खत्म हो गया, investigation has been done, you are filing the charge sheet, so it is a duty that you'll have to produce the accused before the magistrate. ठीक है, before the magistrate along with the charge sheet. Fine. Now similar to 167, में the investigation is not completed, so you are producing the accused with case diaries. Investigation complete नहीं हुई ना, यहाँ पर investigation is complete, you are producing the accused with charge sheet. Now what problem is here? Suppose such a thing happen that here the investigation is going on. Within the investigation, the court grants bail to the accused. There can be a situation, a court has granted bail to the accused or accused has got default bail. Suppose he has got default bail. Investigation was not completed within time. He got default bail. After this period, they file a charge sheet. Suppose here somewhere they file a charge sheet. Now the question that arises is whether the police will again arrest these fellows to produce them before the magistrate. आपके हिसाब से क्या ये reasonable है? These fellows got bail. Now you are producing the charge sheet. You are filing the charge sheet before the magistrate. Are you to arrest these guys again and bring them before the magistrate? Does this seem reasonable? Okay. एक second. No, sir. Yes, it does not seem reasonable. And this came into light in a 2020 judgment of Supreme Court. Earlier, what used to happen prior to this, whenever the police was filing the charge sheet, even if the accused is on bail, they used to arrest him and they used to bring him before the magistrate, and he had to apply the bail again. He has to plead the bail again. So this was creating a lot of bad situation. A lot of people are being arrested unnecessarily just because you are filing charge sheet. So that is the reason the court in this 2020 judgment, that is Siddharth versus State of UP, reinterpreted this section. State of UP reinterpreted this section, and the court held that there is no legal obligation. There is no legal obligation. No legal obligation. There is no legal obligation to produce the accused. To produce the accused. No legal obligation to produce the accused. Accused. ठीक है? Even if he is in custody. Even if he is in custody. He is in custody. Even custody में भी है, say he is in jail, then also it is not a legal obligation. Because what is he actually doing? So there is no legal obligation as such, but as a means of safeguard you are doing it, so that he can know what charges are leveled against him, but that he will anyways know when it comes to the next proceeding. Because in every proceedings, when the evidence are taken, accused has to be present, so that he will anyway know. So there is no legal obligation to produce the accused even if he is in custody. This was held in this Supreme Court judgment. And ultimately, the matter was set at rest. Fine. So this is a situation of 170, wherein the accused, when the investigation is completed, there are sufficient evidences against the accused, and accused is produced before the magistrate. However, there is another situation of 169. ये हम अगले साल करेंगे. ठीक है? This we will do next year.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year,
sir.
sir.
Happy New Year, sir.
Last
IPC
lecture
कब तक हो जाएगा सर अपना IPC?
IPC होना चाहिए मिड जैन तक हो जाएगा. मिड जैन तक हो जाएगा.
15th या 20th तक.
हाँ 15 या 20 तक. ठीक है.
सर इस साल का लास्ट लेक्चर है अभी
CRPC का. ये तो CRPC का अगला लास्ट लेक्चर है.
IPC का है सर.
Yes. चलिए.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सो मच सर
Excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
Srishti. Yes, Srishti.
Thank you, sir.
सर आपने जो अभी सिचुएशन बताई थी जो ये आफ्टर चार्जशीट के बाद वापस
हाँ.
से अरेस्ट की,
हाँ.
तो इट इज द सिचुएशन ऑफ विच सेक्शन
170.
170.
170.
बट सर हियर तो आपने बोला था कि यहाँ पे जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो कंप्लीट हो जाती है, उसके बाद चार्जशीट फाइल होते हैं.
हाँ तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट हो रही है ना, चार्जशीट फाइल हो रही है ना.
ओके ओके
उसी में वही हो रहा है ना.
ओके थैंक यू सर. हैप्पी न्यू सर.
हैप्पी न्यू ईयर. यस कोमल.
सर अभी ये शेल प्रिज्यूम मे प्रिज्यूम की तरह रीड करना होगा
कौन सा प्रिज्यूम? कहाँ है
या
shall?
शेल फॉरवर्ड द अक्यूज.
हाँ मे फॉरवर्ड. मे फॉरवर्ड करेक्ट. प्रिज्यूम मैं भी डर गया कि इस सेक्शन में प्रिज्यूम्पशन कहाँ से आ गया. चलिए बाय गाइस.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर.